Good morning everyone, welcome to a new update of Crypto Michael on this morning, and I think this update will be relatively short as the market is stable, less volatile, making itself ready for the next volatile move, and that's giving altcoins some space to have some momentum, which is beautiful. We've seen some very big rallies in the previous days. Whether or not they are pushed through Coinbase listings, they have been doing relatively well, and that's great for the market and the whole momentum. Is there already a confirmation of the current shift of the markets? No, that's not the case. Altcoins have been selling off heavily in the previous weeks, so a relief ready to higher time frame resistance zones is actually quite healthy, to be honest, as there is a test possible of these levels, but I'm still expecting them to drop down again for some double bottom confirmations, etc., especially when Bitcoin might be correcting a little bit further. Before we continue, if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to trade alongside me, we've just launched the new version of our group and platform. Check out the website, bonsankagroup.com. It's in the description and in the first reply. There's a discount going on for November. So check that out if you want to trade alongside me and want to read some cool stuff. Bitcoin. We do see that we're currently in a potential ascending triangle structure, rising wedge structure. It's depending on whether you're going to use the candles or whether you're going to use the wicks and which time frame you're using. But what we see is that we are into that 16K resistance zone. That's still a very active and healthy resistance zone that we are in, and we've not broken up. So one of the scenarios that I've described here is that we might be eager to see a continuation above these recent highs, through which we take the liquidity above the high, in which we're doing the same thing here. And then you want to be watching whether this is going to be a heavy breakout or not. If we get a very strong impulsive breakout, the fast acceleration towards 17.5 and 18K is there. However, if we get a breaker and stall above the recent resistance high, it's very likely that we're going to break south, and then a clear rejection of the previous high at 15.9K would assume that we're going to see further downwards momentum. So this is one of the scenarios that I'll be watching. The other one is obviously once we break south here and can't really break above 15.4. If you've watched the live stream, you know that 15.4 is one of the resistance zones that I'm watching here. If we do break the lower time frame 15.4 level, I'm assuming we're getting this liquidity breaker at least. If we do break south from 15.4, I think we're going to test these lows around 14.4 again, through which the altcoins will probably just drop down as they are correcting them. We've seen some heavy moves around the markets. IV has been doing relatively well. Massive move of around 127%. However, altcoins like this are inside the resistance zone, and usually when you get such a move up, they're going to test lower levels south again before they are confirming a breakout, especially if Bitcoin decides to drop down towards 11.6, 12 or 13, what I just said. I think it's the market where you should be deploying, taking profits a little bit earlier than you normally do, as the real alt season will start when ETH is starting to phase up, and Ethereum is still not phasing the way that it should. It's rallying up, that's great. We held the crucial support level at 0.26, as that was the level that we have been watching since we saw the rally towards 0.4. However, you should be aware that in order to sustain this bullish momentum, it has to break this area between 306 to 315. However, if it's not breaking through this resistance zone, a likely breakdown is going to occur here, in which we correct again towards the low resistance or the low support zones. If we get such a correction, that would be quite healthy for the markets, and that would still be lining up with the case that I suspect Ethereum to be bottoming out in December and start rallying in January, which will bring the Bitcoin dominance to a top in December as well. Ethereum USDT also showing some strength. It's still inside the resistance zone while my neighbor starts hammering. If we do make the breaker here, we might be continuing, but at this point I'm not completely convinced that we get that breakout. If we do start to tumble over here, the crucial area that Ethereum should be holding is the area between 380 to 400 bucks. That's a very important level to hold. If we lose that area, I think we're in for a further crash south, and then we're going to look at the area around 315 bucks. Then I've got a final thing, which is the DeFi sector. We do see that Sushi has started to run up. We also saw Curve doing the exact same thing. Very nice construction, support resistance flip, continuation towards the range high. We might be seeing further continuation towards 19 cents. Curve has been showing a similar structure, support resistance flip, compression, breakout, and now inside the resistance zone. There's also a project that's still that's doing the exact same thing. Support resistance flip of this OB. Swipe might be continuing the rally, and then we're going to look at areas around 140 and 177 for the potential resistance there. So, conclusion of this small update: if you're trading these altcoins, be aware that once Bitcoin starts to correct, that they will correct with you. And check out my website and have a wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow with a new update.